Wingmantle Chap Lane. Do we care, chat?
No.
Abzan armor with Felothar, the Steadfast. We have actually 3 choices of commanders this time, not 2, because there actually is a secret 3rd commander in this deck. First choice for commander is Felothar, the Steadfast, 1 white, black, green, for a 0/5 legendary human warrior creature. Each creature you control assigns combat damage equal to its toughness rather than its power, and creatures you control can attack as though they didn't have defender. So the Abzan Precon actually has an emphasis on toughness matters, of all things, which is kind of strange. I could have swore their whole thing was like +1/+1 counters. So to have the Precon not be that is kind of strange, I'm not gonna lie, but I guess that's what we're doing now. You can pay 3 and tapper to sack another creature. Draw cards equal to a sack creature's toughness, and then discard cards equal to its power. So that'll be 0. You'll discard 0 cards because it's a toughness deck. So your deck is just a bunch of like 0/7s. So Felothar is basically just Door in the Siege Tower, but 1 mana more to gain a honestly really busted card draw effect, and also turns off defender, so your defender creatures actually can attack, which does matter. Our alternative commander for this deck is Betor, Ancestor's Voice, 2 white, black, green for a 3/5 legendary spirit dragon creature with flying and lifelink. At the beginning of your end step, put a number of +1/+1 counters on up to 1 other target creature you control equal to the amount of life you gain this turn. Return up to 1 target card with mana value less than or equal to amount of life you lost this turn from your graveyard to the battlefield. Betor is basically like Blood Hunter from D&D, where you're a deck that wants to fluctuate life totals, essentially. Like, you want to lose life and then regain life and have your life total fluctuate throughout the game to get lots of counters and recur creatures from your graveyard to your battlefield. Really weird alt commander for this deck, considering the fact that the face commander is a toughness matters thing. It's cool, but I'm pretty sure this deck is not gonna be good with that. I mean, there are some life gain things here, but I also don't think there's any life paying effects either. So honestly, you're probably almost never gonna get to actually recur things from your graveyard. You're only ever gonna get +1/+1 counters on your creatures, because just doing a quick gloss over of the deck, the only life loss here is like it's not good. Actually, our 3rd commander choice for this deck is Ikra Shadiki and Sidar Kondo, a partner pairing. Ikra Shadiki, 3 black green for a 3/7 menace snake wizard, not Naga because that got changed, is a 3/7 with menace. Whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, you gain life equal to that creature's toughness. So it gives all your creatures weird lifelink. And since you are gonna be dealing damage equal to their toughness, it basically just gives all your creatures lifelink. And Sidar Kondo is 2 green white for a 2/5 human knight creature with flanking. The hell is flanking? Whenever a creature without flanking blocks this creature, without flanking, by the way, that's very important, without flanking, blocks this creature, the blocking creature gets -1/-1 until end of turn. Creatures your opponents control without flying or reach can't block creatures with power 2 or less, which is actually really good. Since you're a toughness deck, so many of your creatures actually will have like 0 power, and you have things that make your creatures deal damage equal to their toughness. And since a lot of our creatures are like 0/7s, this is like a 4-mana commander that says, hey, all your 7 power creatures just can't be blocked. It's pretty cut and dry. Felothar is your commander choice for this deck. Betor is very clearly not meant to be built around, at least with the current Precon deck list. And Ikra Shadiki and Sidar Kondo, while they are actually a pretty solid commander pairing, they actually don't allow your creatures to deal damage equal to their toughness. So They don't actually become good until you draw something that is a toughness damage enabler, such as Felothar themselves or Assault Formation. I think it's pretty clear here that Felothar actually will be our commander choice for a deck. Moving on to cuts, chat. The best part of the stream. Our very first card, with 40 creatures in this deck. How in the world? That is bonkers. Arbor Adherent. 300 green for a 2/4 dog druid creature. Tap to add 1 mana of a color, or tap, add X mana, oh boy, of any one color, where X is the greatest toughness, oh boy, among other creatures you control. Oh, wonderful. Absolute power creep. The greatest toughness. What a downside. What a downside, chat. This thing can so easily add like 7 mana, dude. What the... I mean, it's a creature, so it might die pretty easily, I guess. That's somewhat fair to say. It can add like 7 mana, chat. You keep that. Standard green card. Axebane Guardian. 200 green for a 0/3 human druid creature defender. Tap, add X mana in any combination of colors, where X is a number of creatures you control with defender. Hey! That's pretty good. This is like a staple in defender decks, and adds a crap ton of mana. That's pretty good. Thank you, Wizards. Very cool. Betor himself? I mean, he has lifelink, right? So at the very least, he's a 5-mana 5/5 flying lifelinker that puts 3+1/+1 counters on a creature every turn. That's not good. I think Betor's got to go. Go out! Go out! Be gone from this world. Canopy Gargantuan. 5 green for a 7/7 flying dragon creature with ward 2. Oh! Of course. A mono green 7/7 flying creature with ward 2. Of course. Yeah, green needed this. Oh, there's more. Okay, what's it do, chat? At the beginning of your upkeep, put a number of +1/+1 counters on each other creature you control equal to that creature's toughness.
Love of God! For the love of God!
I really wish this card was green-white, just so that mono green couldn't use it, dude. Because, oh my god. Like, you can just throw this in any mono green deck, and it's like hard. It's really hard to destroy because the ward 2. It buffs your entire board by a pretty considerable amount. I mean, it has to survive a whole turn cycle, but that's not really that hard to do when you have ward 2. I'm not a fan of that, but it is a very good card in this deck. Dragon Lord Jamoka, 4 green white for a 5/7 legendary elder dragon creature. Dragon Lord Jamoka can't be countered. Eat your heart out, blue players. Flying lifelink. Your opponents can't cast spells during your turn. Wow. Okay. Compared to, like, everything else you've seen so far, Jamoka feels kind of unnecessary. I mean, your opponents not being able to cast spells during your turn is pretty good, I suppose. It also has run Great Abolisher and probably have just a better card because it's 2 mana, not 6. But then again, you're in green. And it's a 7/7 flying lifelinker that can't be countered. So you'll get lots of life gain. It's also a very good reprint, actually, as well. It's like $10 right now. 12 according to prices on Moxfield. It's fine. We keep that. It's not amazing in this deck, I don't think, but it's perfectly acceptable. Hornet Nest. 2 and a green for a 0/2 insect defender creature. Whenever a Hornet Nest is dealt damage, put that many 1/1 green insect creature tokens of flying and death touch on the battlefield. Alright. So what happens is your opponents just don't attack into this. So, okay, so if you attack with this, they just let it through because 2 damage, right? And at that point, there's no reason to even bother with trying to even, you know, touch the nest of hornets. If you decide to try and block with it, your opponents just won't attack you. Like, it'll probably get removed. I guess it's a good blocker, but that's kind of where its compliments end. Oh, it can make lots of little hornets flying death touch. Like, it reads better than it actually is. There's no way you make, like, 20 horns for this thing. It's just not gonna happen. Get out here. Indomitable Ancient, 2 white for a 2/10 tree folk creature. And that's it. It's a 4-mana 10/10 with Felothar out. It's also $10 right now. Trash? No. Nah. Indomitable Ancients has so much aura, bro. Nah, we don't cut that. Everyone plays this in toughness decks, dude. It's like the face of toughness decks. Everyone runs it. No trample kind of sucks. I'm not gonna lie. That part is like, eh. But I mean, it's a 4-mana 10/10. Toughness decks have to be the dumbest gimmick ever created. They're also like really busted because all their creatures do crap loads of damage. Like, it's a dumb gimmick, but they're really strong if they're allowed to pop off. Next up, Jedi Offshoot. What is this thing? 1 green mana. Oh, for a 0/3 defender plant creature. Oh, landfall. Whenever a land enters a battlefield under your control, you gain 1 whole life. Be gone from this world. Overgrown Battlements. 1 green for a 0/4 defender wall creature. Tap. Add green for each creature with defender you control. Hey! That's pretty good. Another mana staple for defender decks. Thank you, Wizards. Very cool. We keep that. Easy keep. Easy keep. Protector of the Waste. 4 white for a 5/5 flying dragon creature. Oh boy. When this creature enters or becomes monstrous, exile up to 2 target artifacts and or enchantments controlled by different players. And as monstrosity 3 for a 4 and a white. Why is this here? Angel of Ruins but better? You mean worse? Angel of Ruins but worse, I think is what you mean. It's 1 mana less. Okay, if we compare this to Angel of the Ruins. So Ruins is 7 mana for a 5/7 flyer. When it enters, you exile up to 2 artifacts and or enchantments with no player restriction, because Protector can't exile 2 things on one person's board, which is a downside. Angel's stat line is slightly better. It's also an artifact, so I guess it's also slightly easier to remove as well. But the big thing for me is the plane cycling. I actually really value the plane cycling on this thing a lot. The plane cycling, I think, is actually a very big deal, because if you draw early game and you need land drops, you just pay 2, discard it, and go and get a land drop. Protector, it's 1 mana less, which is relevant. And I guess you can actually exile 4 things if you monstrosity it, but then you're paying 11 mana for an 8/8 flyer to exile 4 things. Like, this thing is a total dead draw. At least Angel of the Ruins can be a land drop if I need it to be. Or I can discard it for, like, reanimation shenanigans, which I can't do with the Protector of the Wastes. And also, Protector is just a 5/5, which has absolutely no synergy with the toughness matters thing. Angel is a 5/7. I at least get a benefit for having Felothar out with Angel out. Angel is 13 cents. Literally just replace this with Angel. Literally just replace this thing with Angel, and it's a better card. One of your 10 new card slots got lost to this thing. How? Literally how? Absolute get out tier. Rampart Architect, 3 and a green for a 3/4 Elephant Advisor creature. Whenever this creature enters or attacks, create a 1/3 white wall token with Defender. Whenever a creature you control with Defender dies, you may search your library, oh no, for a basic land card, oh no, and put that card onto the battlefield tapped! No! Oh my god! Why? Absolute power creep. Why? I mean, it's a very good card for this deck. It's very good. But why? Because the absolute staple green needed. Okay, it's not a staple. It's only good in defender decks. But the absolute thing defender decks needed, which by the way, was already a very powerful archetype. Like, toughness decks are actually already a very good decks on average. They are, like, actually really hard to beat because every creature they play is like a 2-mana 7/7. Is a card that lets them fetch basics for free when their creatures die. The last thing toughness decks needed was board insurance. That ramps them, of all things, God forbid. They did not need this, but it is a very, very powerful card. So, very easy keep. Rock's Faithbender, my boy! I love this guy, but he's not good here. 3 to white for a 1/5 Rhino Monk creature lifelink. If you would gain life, you gain twice that much life instead. I like him. He has aura, but he's not good here. We are not a life gain deck. That's it. That's just it. We are not a life gain deck. That's the whole criticism. That's all I have to say. Get out here. Next up, Seedborn Muse. Okay. Honestly, I'm not sure this thing's even good here. Is this card even good in this deck? We have 5 instants, chat. Like, I can untap my Axebane Guardian on my opponent's turns. But why? Like, does this not literally just give Vigilance in this deck and that's it? Keep? I don't think it is, honestly, chat. I actually kind of don't think it's good here, if I'm being real. Like, I feel like 99% of the time, it literally just gives Vigilance, and that's it, for 5 mana. There's way better cards that give Vigilance for, like, 2 mana, I'm pretty sure. You can untap your lands. Okay, but what does that do when you only have 5 instants in your deck? I guess it's good with, like, Blight Pile, because you activate Blight Pile every turn, and untaps your defenders. Okay, but at that point, it's just Vigilance. And I think there's better Vigilance options for, like, way less mana. Honestly. I mean, okay, there's Shalai. It's good in Shalai. Tree of Redemption. I guess. You get to bluff your opponents. How? On what? It's on your end step they untap. You can't just choose to not untap and be like, oh wait, actually, opponent, I have a Seedborn Muse. Get fucked. You can't do that. Like, I just don't see the point of it in this deck, chat. It's a good card. It can be a very good card very easily, but I think it's one of the few times where it actually, like, doesn't do a lot. It's good if you draw a Blight Pile or Shalai. That's kind of it. Again, Seedborn Muse is a very good card most of the time, but this is one of the few times where Seedborn Muse actually just doesn't really do a whole lot for you. It literally, most of the time, will only give you Vigilance, and that's it. And there's way better cards that give your whole board Vigilance for way less mana. Like 3 or 2 even. Tree of Redemption.
Okay.
3 and a green for a 0/13 plant creature. Defender. Tap. Exchange your life total with Tree of Redemption's toughness. Why? Why would you ever do that? I mean, okay, so first of all, we keep it because it's a 4 mana 13/13. We kept Ancients because it's a 4 mana 10/10. So it would be stupid to cut Tree because, oh, exchange life total, cringe. Wakestone Gargoyle. 3 and a white for a 3/4 defender flying gargoyle. Pay 1 white. Creatures you control with defender can attack this turn as though they didn't have defender. Why? There's, like, way better things that turn off defender, I'm pretty sure. Oh, shit. Okay. Maybe we do keep this, chat. I thought it was like, oh, it's bad because there's better, like, defender turn offers. But there's actually not. I was gonna say cut, but honestly, now that I'm seeing there's no other defender turn offers, we might keep this, actually. Walking Bulwark. 1 mana for a 0/3 artifact creature defender golem creature. Pay 2 mana. Until end of turn, target creature with defender gains haste. Can attack as though it didn't have defender, and assigns combat damage equal to its toughness rather than its power. Activate only as a sorcery. Feels not great, but I think we kind of have to keep it because of redundancy purposes. Because again, if you don't have one of these, your deck just turns off, which is not good. Wall of Limbs. 2 and a black for a 0/3 defender zombie wall creature. Whenever you gain life, put a +1/+1 counter on Wall of Limbs. Pay 5 and 2 black. Sacrifice Wall of Limbs. Target player loses X life, where X is Wall of Limbs power. We're cutting, like, all the life gain stuff. So, it's no. Get out here. Wall of Reverence. 3 and a white for a 1/6 defender flying spirit wall creature. At the beginning of your end step, you may gain life equal to the power of target creature you control. Notice how it says power and not toughness. Say it with me, chat. It's get out tier. Wingmantle Chaplain. 3 and a white. 4 mana for a 0/3 human cleric defender creature. When Wingmantle Chaplain enters a battlefield, create a 1/1 white bird creature token with flying for each creature with defender you control. Whenever another creature with defender enters a battlefield under your control, create a 1/1 white bird token with flying. Do we care, chat?
No.
Ain't no way, bro. Ain't no way. Ain't no way, bro. Ain't no way they put this fucking dinosaur in another Precon. Ain't no way. Nah. You know what this card does. I'm gonna explain it, but I'll do it anyways. 6 white for a 4/8 legendary elder dinosaur creature, Zatalpa Primal Dawn. Flying, double strike, vigilance, trample, indestructible. That's it. Now, you might say, but Bounce Man, the double strike is actually good here, because with Felothar, Zatalpa deals damage equal to its toughness, which is 8. So, with double strike, it deals 16 damage. That's pretty good, Bounce Man. No, it's not, bro. I can spend 4 mana to cast Indomitable Ancients, which is a 10/10. I pay 4 more to get, what is that? 6 more points of damage on the top, but nah. I can pay 4 mana to cast Tree of Redemption and deal 13 damage. I can pay 4 more to get 3 more points of damage. Absolute stonks, except not really, because I'm lying to you. It's not good at all. It has trample, I guess, which is like fine, but or I could just cut it and add an actual trample enchantment that gets my whole board trample or something. Vigilance, flying, I don't care, bro. Like, look, I get why it's here. It can actually use the good stat line to attack and not the worthless 4 power. It's still not good, dude. Get out. Feed the Swarm, 1 black, sorcery. Destroy target creature or enchantment and opponent controls. You lose life equal to that permanent mana value. We are in white, so we actually kind of don't need this card, if I'm being honest, but if I'm being real, it's like not a big deal. It's still totally playable. There is better removal in these colors. I will agree. I guess for that reason alone, it's kind of worth cutting. We'll cut it. Why not? There's probably better cards, like Mythos of Nethroi or something. Reunion of the House. 5 white for a sorcery. Return any number of target creature cards with total power 10 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. Exile Reunion of the House. Just return your whole board to the field for 7 mana. What is there to say that's good? Tip the scales. 2 black for a sorcery. Sacrifice a creature. When you do, all creatures get -X/-X until end of turn, where X is the sacrificed creature's toughness. I feel like there's better one-sided wraths we can run instead of this that don't require us to sack creatures. Like, it's kind of cool, but I feel like there's a multitude of wraths that are like power-based that, to be fair, might cost like 1 or 2 more mana that keeps our whole board alive. It doesn't require us to have to like sack a Carven Keratin to keep our ancients and trees alive. 3 mana is not too expensive, but neither is Slar the Strong. Not very good, chat. Be gone. Will of the Abzan. 3 black for a sorcery. Choose one. If you control your commander as you cast this spell, you may choose both instead. Any number of target opponents each sack a creature with the greatest power among creatures that player controls and lose 3 life. So it's a Soul Shatter that burns them for 3. That's okay, solid. Not an instant sorcery, which is not great. And or return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. So Zombify, which is also not a card anyone plays. Okay, so it is slightly different than Soul Shatter. Soul Shatter is based on highest mana value. Will the Abzan is based on highest power. So it is slightly different. It is not an instant, which I think makes it significantly worse. Lose 3 life, okay, whatever. It's, you know, a free 3 bolts of damage, whatever. And it's also a Zombify, which is just 4 mana, return a creature from your graveyard to the field. That's it. I think this card is actually, like, super mid if you don't have a commander. But frankly, I think you actually should have some cards in this deck dedicated to protecting Felothar, because your deck just stops working if Felothar dies. So, with how commander dependent this deck is, I think there should be almost never any scenario where you don't have a commander. Where if you have a commander as you cast a spell, I think it's actually pretty good. So, bad with no commander, pretty good with a commander, which should be most of the time in this deck. So we'll keep it. Behind the scenes, 2 and a black for an enchantment. Creatures you control have Skulk. The hell is Skulk? They can't be blocked by creatures with greater power. Makes your whole board unblockable. Doesn't something else do that too in this deck we covered earlier? What is it? Oh, Sidar Kondo. So we have not 1, but 2 cards that just turn off blocking for all your giant 8/8s and 10/10s. Can also pump your board for 5 mana, which is kind of not great. Finally, Jaws of Defeat. Being a black for an enchantment. Whenever a creature you control enters, target opponent loses life equal to the difference between that creature's power and its toughness. What the hell? Wait, okay, so I cast this. I cast a Tree of Redemption and dome someone for 13?
What the hell?
What the hell? Okay, yeah, sure. We keep that. What the fuck? Okay. What the hell? So we have, how many tap lands, chat? 9, because temples. Okay. I'm gonna cut the Radiant Grove, and we'll add 1 MDFC to the deck. My rule of thumb for land bases is never run more than 8 tap lands. I think 8 is the absolute maximum we should have for tap lands. Once you go beyond that, I think it can actually become a pretty big detriment to your deck. So chat, I've mentioned a few times now how we have to kind of have a decent number of cards dedicated to protecting Felothar. I said keep Wakestone Gargoyle and the Walking Bulwark earlier because they are cards that are defender turn-offers. So all your big toughness creatures can actually attack. I'm questioning now if we cut these for just like 1 mana instants that give things hexproof. Is that better? I don't know, chat. Do we do that? Do we cut the Wakestone Gargoyle and Bulwark just for like protection spells? Do we do that? We can add Lightning Greaves to start with, right? Bro, Lightning Greaves is $5? How? It actually is. Wow. Bro, they print this thing all the time and it maintains a steady $5 price tag every time. It's actually kind of ridiculous. How is that possible? I think Greaves is worth $5, honestly. I think it's worth it. With how important Felothar is to this deck, add Tamiyo's Safekeeping, I agree. Dude, Tamiyo's Safekeeping is so stupid. There's also Blacksmith's Skill. And Blacksmith's Skill is the same thing, basically, with no life gain. Womp womp. Doran, we've already said that. He said Tree of Perdition, but that thing's like $8 right now. Is that worth it? There is Fell the Mighty, which destroys creatures based on a chosen creature's power. Destroy all creatures of power greater than target creature's power. So you choose a 0-drop, and it blows up everything with 1 power or greater for 5 mana, and then you keep all your creatures. About McCready and Fecund Greenshell. 3 green for an elemental turtle creature, Reach. As long as you control 10 or more lands, creatures you control get +2/+2. Of course. Whenever Fecund Greenshell or another creature you control with toughness greater than its power enters, look at the top card of your library. If it's a land card, you may put it on battlefield tapped, because of course. Otherwise, put it into your hand. Yeah, that's good. We take that. It's also ramp too, which actually I think this deck is kind of lacking. McCready. That's the kid from Fallout, right? Lamplight, the child labor town. Power 2 or less attacks. It gains Skulk until on a turn. Remember, creature power 4 greater attacks too. Its controller loses 2 life, you gain 2 life. What the hell? 2 mana Skulk engine? Yeah, that's pretty good. We did cut Feed the Swarm, actually. We did cut this. So maybe just add, like, Mythos of Nethroi. 3 mana, blow up non-land permanent. It's 3 mana instant, destroy target non-land permanent if it's a creature, or if green-white was spent to cast a spell. It's a 3 mana, blow up non-land permanent. I think it's pretty good. It's enchantments too, just the same way Feed the Swarm does. So 9 cards left to add, chat. Like, dude, honestly, this Precon is so well built, I actually, like, don't know what else there is to add, honestly. Is there a way to make wall tokens that stack to our commander, or maybe some more reanimator? That's actually not a bad idea. Ramus Echor for $5. When you cast your second spell each turn, draw a card, then create a 0/3 white wall token with Defender. At beginning of combat on your turn, Creatures control defender gain exalted until end of turn, which is not necessary because we are a toughness attacking deck. Is Remus Echor worth $5, chat? I kind of feel like it's not, honestly. Catapult fodder? What is catapult fodder? Oh, it's this thing! Yo! Okay, 2 black for a zombie creature. 1/5. At the beginning of combat on your turn, if you control 3 or more creatures that each have toughness greater than their power, transform catapult fodder. Catapult captain, 2/6, 2 black, tap, sack another creature. Target opponent loses life equal to the sacrificed creature's toughness. That's pretty good. I like that. Just sack your tree and deal dome someone for 13, dude. Remus Echor. I guess, yeah, it's kind of worth it, right? Tap tree and sack. Wrong tree. The tree we have is the one that swaps your life total, not opponents. We did discuss adding the tree that swaps your opponent's life total. That's kind of a combo, isn't it? Perdition and catapult fodder, because you just tap the tree, set someone to 13, and then you sack it to catapult captain, and just kill someone. Yeah, I think that kind of makes it worth it, to be honest. It's like $8 for the cheapest printing right now. But honestly, bro, the combo with catapult captain and this thing is like too much. Dude, cinema. Absolute cinema, dude. Actually, you know what? Do we even need trample? We have skulk. Do we need trample? We have skulk instead. Yeah, but what do we need trample for? We have skulk. Redundancy, though? I guess. Is there even any good, like, trample cards? Should we shill for Meekstone? How much is it? $10? That puts us at 30. That puts us at $30 for a deck right now, which I think is too much. It's a very funny card for this deck, but no, I don't think it's worth it here. Oh wait, Dusk to Dawn, chat. We run this, don't we? Blows up all high-powered creatures and returns all low-powered creatures to the field from the graveyard. Hand, not battlefield. Oh, true. Okay, I mean, it's still a one-sided Wrath, though, of 4 mana, right? That's still good. Like, if Dawn didn't even exist, I'd still play it just for Dusk, to be honest. I think Dusk alone makes it worth it. Dawn is just icing, extra value. I think Meekstone is hilarious if you can afford it. I'm not gonna put it in here, but if you want to add it on your own, go ahead. It's because it actually probably will be a totally busted card in the deck. There's Glorious Sunrise, which is ramp or card draw or life gain or +1/+1 and trample. I actually kind of like this card, to be honest. I know some people say it's overcosted, but it's really flexible, dude. It can be card draw, it can be ramp, it can be trample if you need it. Do we like this, chat? It's $1 right now. It's $1. I like it. I like it, chat. Oh, Battle of Bywater. Yeah. 1 white sorcery. Destroy all creatures with power 3 or greater. Then create a food token for each creature you control. Bro, you will never die in this deck. We wanted Vigilance. I'm gonna say Brave the Sands. I think it's pretty good. 1 white, your creatures just have Vigilance. Each creature you control can block an additional creature each combat, which is actually relevant here because your creatures all have like 8 toughness. That's pretty good. Cheapest printing is $2 for the Cons of Tarkir version. Dude, Sands is so much better than Seaborn Muse in this deck. I know that sounds crazy, but it's actually true. Stone Skin. Oh, yeah. 3 mana flash. Dome someone for 10. Yeah. That's fucking hilarious, dude. Yes. That's awesome. That's so cool. Always watching. Mike Wazowski. Do we add that, chat? +1/+1 and have Vigilance. Is there better? Probably not, to be honest. Yo, look at our mana curve! Ah! Absolute cinema! Yeah, I'm just gonna add Always Watching. It's 3 mana +1/+1 and Vigilance. For non-tokens, to be fair, but our deck is mostly non-tokens anyways. So, to recap, we add Always Watching, Blacksmith Skill, Brave the Sands, Catapult Fodder, Door of the Siege Tower, Dusk to Dawn, Fecund Green Shell, Bell the Mighty, Glorious Sunrise, Lightning Greaves, McCready Lamplight Mayor, Mythos of Nethroy, Remus Echor, Stone Skin, Safekeeping, the Battle of Bywater, and Tree of Perdition. If you have the money to afford a Meekstone, you should add it, but I didn't put it here because it's like $10 alone just for that card. But it probably is worth it if you can afford it.